What's up, guys? I'm Sino, if you didn't already know. Next to me is Chaka. We bring to you 2 days back-to-back Baller Open League. Chaka, how is your night?
It's pretty good. I took a nap before we got into today's game, so I'm feeling pretty refreshed. I'm feeling really ready to get into this game between Banana Bread Girls and Makos Goons, and I'm excited to get into that game with you, Sina.
I mean, dude, just look at the logo on the top left of the screen. I've been saying it all day. It is adorable. They were talking about making plushies. I will buy 5 of them and put them on that table right there and just feature them for the rest of eternity on the streams. But focusing on the matchup of the night, we have Banana Bread Girls versus Makos Goons. Now, we have 2 teams, one of which we don't have a lot of match history with. We know some of the individual players on Banana Bread Girls, but for Makos Goons, we were able to reference some gameplay from the Nerd Street Philly LAN. So we know how either team is basically matched up at level. So I feel like compared to yesterday's barn burner of a 15-round match, we can maybe expect something similar from either team here on Border. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with you. If we take a look at the current standings anyway, for BBB Open League for Season 1, both of these teams are 1-1. And apart from Banana Bread Girls having a slightly better round difference, with them having like -4 round difference compared to Makos Goons -5, this on paper looks like a pretty even game, and that's what Swiss is designed for anyways. It's designed to give you more balanced games, especially once the initial games get played and we start to see some of the teams get more into their natural positions in the Swiss stage table.
I'm excited to see what either team brings to the table here today, because unlike Lair, Border is just not one of those maps where it is very, let's say, demanding in terms of utility and teamwork. There's a very textbook way to play it unless you guys are the most aggressive players on Earth. So I'm excited to see how Banana Bread is going to be able to slow things down and approach slowly. But as of now, it is just taking the sweet old time to be able to establish and feel the other team and how they play it out, which essentially is just feeling out how the game's going to play.
All right, so bans come out, and yeah, Zombie's pretty default for Border, one of the probably actually the best operator to hold down East stairs. Castle's pretty good too, because like one of the most powerful things about Border is the window, is the cuts, especially around the second floor. And Castle can really disrupt that flow for the attacker, so getting rid of him is pretty good for Makos. Probably it's going to insinuate that they're going to want to play more on the cuts, more on the windows, instead of, you know, bringing utility to deal with the castles themselves. And I find it interesting as well that BBG, they decide to ban both Ace and Dokkaebi. Usually you see a shield ban like a Blitz or a Blackbeard, but no, they decide to ban out a Hard Breacher, which is pretty meta nowadays.
10 seconds left.
I'm excited to see what either team has to offer for us here today. I mean, it really depends on those first couple of rounds, whether it's the first or the second. I feel like the main thing that me and you establish is how important it is for the opening rounds of a best-of-1 series. Now, you guys are playing essentially for points, and that's going to play a factor when it comes to either qualifying for the playoffs or just going further in the open league. So I really feel like either team here needs to get their first round pin perfect, otherwise we're going to be looking down the barrel of just a one-sided affair.
Seems like as well that Makos are going to try and do this CC clear. They brought over Thermite. You don't have any. You have Habana on the board to do the range hard breaching, so you can open up top east if you get that control, which can flush out the break room player if you're doing a top east take. But no, it looks like they want to just directly take CC control head on.
Jagarku, I just realized, subbed in. So, I mean, a little bit interesting considering he does play for another team, but it is going to be an interesting F-Not strategy. We saw a lot of them go out on the AC spawn, and the other ones are just being placed out around the area of security here. So he's not using them to hold Makos at bay, but rather holding them so he knows exactly where they're coming from and forcing them to stay out the building for as long as possible. As he finds first blood, he'll take care of Deathstreak, say goodbye to any security pressure here, as it is Banana Bread Girls to get the first blood on the board.
It's a nice prediction on the cut angle that Deathstreak was trying to hold in order to cut off the 90 player from rotating back into 90, for example. So yeah, really nice kill to get. You still get this CC control if you're Makos Goons. And it's very interesting, BBG, they fully reinforce off the armoring wall, so they're just gonna try and open it now. But they do find a pick back, and that's from all the way over by East Stairs. That's some really good pressure to get.
Taking care of that scope post does alleviate the pressure from that east side, and those Canadian head holes make it easier for Makos Goons to be able to try to get some leeway. But as of now, they're going to have to be careful because Jagarku's on the board. Now, yes, he's below 50 HP, but still, he has that upper level experience, Jaka. He knows how players play across all tiers, meaning he won't be scared to get his hands dirty, whether it's getting really aggressive, swinging out, or taking the time to waste out the time here. In the meantime, Balaka gets Jaeger clutch off the board. With 30 seconds left, the breach is going to be open, and Makos Goons do have the man advantage on the board. Sierra taking heavy damage. They look to go for an execute. Jagarku finds his second. Blitz walks into sight here. Lexi doesn't even know what hit her, as she'll fall, and Sierra and Jagarku have to team up here, the power duo, to try to deny this plant. All of the attackers near 100 HP, and it's going to be a problem here when you guys have to deny all of them at full space. Now Jagarku is in the middle of outside here, forced to go back down, rotate in throughout the bottom of the map here, and forced to come up east and try to isolate his ones, but it feels like this is an only one-way faceted in the favor of Makos Goons.
Plant down, the long rotate confirmed here from Jagarku. Finally, now confirmed to be in the 1v2, and he's cut off as soon as he tries to rotate top east. So yeah, very good first round to get for Makos Goon on that attack. Really good map control gathered early, despite losing man count for first blood. And I really liked how they kind of like anacondaed the map. And what I mean by that is they just got their map control, and it felt like they suffocated
Attackers need to locate
BBG. Like it felt like they couldn't move anywhere. It felt like they couldn't contest for map control. And every time they tried to put themselves in a safe spot anywhere around the site, it felt like Makos Goons were already in good spots to just kill them. Anyway, so yeah, really nice first round for Makos Goons.
Yeah, I mean, I find it literally impossible to do any form of play-by-play for Makos Goons just because I'm so accustomed to Matchco, the Italian team. So it's going to be an interesting cast. So to those of you watching and supporting your good old buddies on Makos Goons, we both apologize because we are so used to seeing the same spelling but pronounced instead Matchco. But focusing on the current round, after a beautiful retake after losing first blood, Matchco leads this game and looks to address Bathroom by going upstairs and clearing out those vertical players firsthand.
Yeah, and I fully expect for BBG to try and hold on to the top floor, because I noticed in the last round, they kind of were very lax in giving map control. They weren't very comfortable with contesting it all the way. Oh my god, he almost lost that.
Imagine? Broshi good falls first here. That's the second time in 2 rounds. That'll be the first pick for BBG, as Jagarku is now left to pick up the pieces here, as he is just going to take his sweet old time, try to find that refrag with the F-Nots placed in on the hop in for that window. He has the info, but with these boogie drones being sent in, there is very crucial verticality being established, and Makos Goons are starting to establish a little bit of a net over this general area of Archives Fountain to try to clear out Jagarku.
And he's the only one up here. Again, it just kind of feels like they can fully anaconda him. And we already know that Makos has really good info around the map. They're double droning him even. They know exactly where he's at, and they're gonna get him.
Flash is raining on in, the drones as well. The Blackbeard now in the front line. It's a 3-way pinch. That is beautiful from Makos Goons. I mean, they had pressure on every single area of the map, and that's exactly how you clear out a player who knows how to take his ones. Don't give him a single one. And as we approach the below 90-second mark, it's going to be a large wedge driven into BBG's integral hold here. You have one player on site, one of them sitting deep server, and Sierra looking to find somebody on the cross here, able to find out the first. Critical on that Nomad, but with a minute left, you guys have to continue to fight back. Otherwise, the pressure is going to crumble on you guys yet again.
Yeah, vertical is being established from the ram. That means like it's gonna be really hard to play in spots like workshop or now bathroom, and so that kind of frees up an easy avenue to drop. But you have the Kaid on the teller's window, and Makos have not opened this yet, so they probably just don't know that he's here.
Yeah, with this clock running down here, I'm inclined to say this might be a banana bread girls round here. I mean, one player drops the hatch, and with their ability to take their time, he didn't drop the hatch actually. He rotated back out to the window. With these Grimbies coming on in, Blackbeard is going to have to eat the damage because he has no passive utility, no drones, which means he's going to have to take it. Now, that's drops onto site and looks to put that plant down. The cross being held, the B is watching anybody who goes in for the rotate, meaning every single player on BBG is going to be held unless they decide to walk through the Grims, which Sierra is going to do as she has been located with verticality established. It's a nightmare here for BBG to be able to come back from. Sierra fighting back, getting her second of the round here, but in the meantime, Lexi goes down and finished off by Mako on the vert here, and as it is a attacker-dominated round in terms of verticality, possession on site, and able to just hold out the angles, yet again, Mako come back from having a man deficit and hit that gap hard until they can get that plant down here with a three-way cross being held yet again on this case. Jaeger Clutch is left on 50 HP, no full mag in her pocket, and the ability to try to isolate the ones here, but they're just going to be consolidation kills because she can't even get on that counter defuse even if she wanted to, and that's the second round for Makos Goons on the board.
And again, for Makos Goons, they've done really well in just getting easy map control. I think that time, maybe the issue for BBG is that the top 4 players are just very easily isolated. Scopeless was trying to wrap beside the vending machine and break room, was already pre-droned out and gets isolated. Then Jagorku's just staying on top 4 because that's your win condition, knowing that if you lose top 4 control, what they can do is establish vert above bathroom and workshop, giving the defenders no good positions to play to deny a hatch drop in plant. And I really liked how in the last few seconds of that round, they organized themselves really well to set themselves up for a bathroom hatch drop. Because like I said, the Kaid is probably, if they don't open teller's window, the Kaid is the only person who can probably stop the plant in his spot because they didn't open the window. And then they open the window, you have a really good cutoff, not only through like for the vending machine inside of tellers, but you also have a really good cutoff in the bathroom hallway as well. That was a really good executed round for Makos Goons, and now for BBG, they're going to go back to the drawing board, back to second floor.
Hopefully they're able to make something out of their losses here. I mean, I believed in the comeback for the defense just because of the lack of information in server, and they had the advantage, they had the element of surprise, but still, you guys allowed them to just walk into the site here, hit that gap, establish a cross, get those Grimbies in there. And with that much utility for the attackers, it is impossible to come back from it. And as you saw, Sierra tried to get aggressive there. She found a kill, but still, she got picked off almost instantly walking in through all of that utility. So I hope that changes because still we're in the earlier stages. But on the defensive side of Border, these guys are going to have to clean it up and try to bring on some positive approaches to try to address either a 3-3 split or a 4-2 split, because that is the best result that they can get at this point of the game.
I think also for BBG, they need to be more comfortable with contesting the map, because that's the whole point of Border, funnily enough, is contesting for map control and not allowing the attackers easy control of it. If you gotta battle them every step of the way, and you cannot be afraid to contest for it and die for it even.
Jigarku taking heavy amounts of damage here. Doesn't chow it again. He wants the man advantage for his team here, or rather not giving up the man advantage. Jaeger doesn't have the same luck, as she'll be downed on East and finished off in the same mag. Decimo taking heavy amounts of damage, and Sierra delivers that final blow. Has been lethal so far on the DMR here, and Mako is going to rotate over to plug that hole and grab that case up and try to give the man advantage right back to Mako here. But with 90 seconds left and a three-way cross into security, Jagarku has the angle to be able to give some heavy amounts of damage into security, but still, he has to be mindful of his health as it's continuing to run down here. Broshi good, finding one, first of the game, Sierra finding the next onto Mako. Now a refrag, but still, it is a dominated round by BBG as they've now still managed to keep that man advantage in the pocket. And Sierra, somebody said she was going to drop 20, and I feel like that prophecy might be fulfilled as she hasn't missed a shot so far here. And it is Broshi good to find the second kill for himself, and now it is going to be a dominated round by BBG as they'll now find their first on the board.
It's a really good round for BBG. I said they needed to be more comfortable with contesting map control. And although I don't really think they did, what they did really well was pouncing on Makos Goons when they tried to get like a little bit too antsy, like the Blackbeard and 90 Hall, for example, trying to isolate the metal player and doesn't know that he's being held from Africa. That's a big mistake. And even though like Makos, they did really well again to find an opening, they also did really well getting map control again. It's just like setting themselves up for like a really good coordinated execute screwed them over there because they kind of just didn't do a reset and slowed themselves down to work together.
Need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
As I realized that this team's called Banana Bread Girls, I think I called Broshi good a he. I'm going to assume it's a she. I think Jagarku's the only male that's playing right now. I think substituting in for Chaos. So apologies to the players over at BBG. But the narrative doesn't change. They were able to find... Actually, no. They lost the first pick. They were able to get a refrag and build on that. Even with Jagarku still falling on metal, he took damage off that Blackbeard, and the teamwork between Sierra and Jagarku on top metal onto that cross completely destroyed anybody who walked in through 90. And from there, Broshi good found 2 kills, and it was a beautiful round in general here. As now, Makos Goons look to address their next round here. Won't be able to get a flawless attacking cycle here, but they can still maintain that lead.
Yeah. Another thing Jagarku has done really well too is taking attention away from the rest of his teammates. Like in that last round you mentioned, he was taking attention away from the Blackbeard, and that ultimately opened up the Blackbeard being vulnerable to I believe it was Sierra on Africa, to killing him. So really good, because that kind of like confirmed the round for them, because at that point Makos was trying to like hunt for a refrag and they couldn't do that. So yeah, really nice. It looks like they're going to be focusing on the top floor yet again. That is evident by the Ram. They've also brought the Monty too. That'll help them, just like how they've been doing with the Blackbeard, which oddly enough was not banned by BBG. It'll help them be able to isolate these players on the top floor.
Death Streak falls to a shotgun to the teeth. Say goodbye to any verticality for the rest of the round. You might be able to rely on Ash's pocket breaches and her projectiles, but you'd imagine that they want to use that for, more important things. So a beautiful first pick here for BBG. They just have to be able to hold on to it. But as we say that, Decimo and Balaka find 1 and 2. Broshi and Jagarku taken off the board nice and easy. I mean, credit where credit is due. Great job to Banana Bread Girls for finding first blood, but it's Makos Goons' game when it comes to pinching that uppermost floor, taking care of the roamers, and building up their own attack here. That is the second time we've seen them do that, and they are doing it exceptionally well here. A 2v4, C4, no connection here, and it's just going to be an attacker-dominated round unless Lexi can shoot that Ying that you can just see through the floor.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing here is that they're not able to like make like full vert above workshop and bathrooms, but I don't even think they need it. They've completely turned this from top floor to courtyard, and they're executing tellers.
Jaeger clutch, looking to isolate the one onto waiting room, but that plant's already going down. Whether she likes it or not, Yojin is going to be the one to close it out from waiting room. Beautiful from Makos Goons. I mean, both teams are trying to do their due diligence on their respective sides here, but it's Makos Goons that are really showing us why they are exceptionally well at attacking. I mean, I was not expecting those cohesive clears, Chaka. To be able to lose your verticality operator in the opening 30 seconds of the round, and then from there, a triple pinch to take care of 2 roamers in about 5 seconds, that is amazing. That is amazing. I mean, we saw it when it was taking care of Jagarku, I think, on the second round, but to do that to 2 players instantaneously,
Defenders,
that
protect your
is
bombs from being
gorgeous.
defused by
And they
attackers.
look to try and take home a 5-1 split, which is achievable here if they can continue to clear the verticality the same way.
Yeah. I also think that Makos are playing the map really, really well too. Like, especially on attack. Like the one thing that if the map control is given to you, what you can do most of the time is again just play like the anaconda strategy, and it's just like again very suffocating for the defense, especially if they're playing like really spread out or in their like isolated zones, and if there's like really big gaps being left open where people can just walk on them. So we'll see if BBG can get some more rounds. I don't think it's like all doom and gloom. Maybe they'll perform a little bit better on the attack because defense on border is really, really difficult. I'll be totally honest. I hate defending on this map. I really do. So
It is
I don't blame them for struggling.
I mean, it's a nightmare. And Chaka, look at the defensive bans. Castle, a zombie, and Fenrir all off the board here. What are you defending with at this point? I mean, yeah, the integrity of the defense might as well be a paper straw because the meta operators just aren't on the board here. I mean, you see them trying to plug in the gaps by trying to get aggressive and find first blood here, but that can only do so much because still, you can't make up for utility with kills, and I think BBG are starting to learn that the hard way. I really hope that they can mimic the same types of bans when they switch on to maybe instigate a little bit of a comeback.
It's interesting. You mentioned like the meta operators too for defense. Like you still have some of the meta operators up for BBG, Ying, Glass, Monty, Blackbeard, Blitz, like the whole shebang. Like you have that available to you, so it kind of makes it really hard to feel like you can contest anything on the map.
Yeah, 100% with those shield ops on the board as well. I mean, yeah, you've taken care of Dokkaebi, you've taken care of Grim, but Grim's been used once on your post plan executes. But Laka getting very, very passive, and it works out in his favor. But Jagarku instantly responds, and Jaeger Clutch doubles down on that. A wallbang almost takes care of Jagarku, but not enough health to put him in a critical position. As Mako looks to isolate him, it's Deathstreak to find him. We talk about teamwork all the time, and it's such a great display from Makos, as now it's a 3-all with plenty of time to be able to address the verticality. All they have to do is retrieve the case, and this is another attacker-dominated round if they continue to go through their checklist when it comes to establishing that site control.
Okay, I think I see somebody like going into customs to play the mid-round position or the end-round position, because if they get vertical, what you can do a lot of the times is just spread out towards customs and play like mid-round, late-round win conditions, and in this case that's what they're doing. Sierra did really well to find a kill into the rim, making vert. So now you're in the 3v2 for BBG. This could potentially be their second round in the game.
She really loves that DMR, huh? And I mean, rightfully so. It's been
good,
working
man.
out very, very well. Now, that desk position has been abandoned by Jaeger Clutch, and now it's going to be a three-way hold. 2 from Customs, but Balaka shuts out the first. Sierra goes down here, but Jaeger Clutch is going to be the last one left on the board because Balaka's going absolutely nuclear. With just 17 seconds left, Jaeger Clutch is going to have to isolate the ones, which is exactly what she'll do here. Now, a game of Ring Around the Rosie is exactly what she needs to do because that case is not in the hands of this Monty. It's going to be a continuous game. She knows that he's coming from that Banshee, but as Mako turns his back to the operator, he 360s and he gets it! Are you serious?
So that's also another thing that the Monty can do. It's just completely screw you over at a 1v1. And I'm kind of shocked that BBG didn't get rid of, well, one, the Blackbeard that Makos Goons have been playing the whole entire game. Sorry, I hit my mic. But also, like, you also have other shield operators on the board that Makos Goons have shown that they are willing to play. I think at one point, yeah, in the first round, they picked Blitz. Cup for like 2 rounds in a row before the third ban came out. They picked Blackbeard. And now for the last 2 rounds in a row, they've been picking Monty for top East takes and even just like pushing it to break room at times and helping them clear the top floor a little bit better while having somebody play behind him. So a little bit surprising that no shield operator is off the board. And that really sucks because BBG did so well in that round to keep putting themselves in advantageous positions. They played the mid to late round win conditions around the first floor once they lost vert really well. They even got a pick on the vert before Sierra left to play customs. Like, that was really good up until you got to a 1v1 with a Monty.
5 seconds left.
That might have been the craziest Monty clip I've seen of all time. And I've seen Demon Pig on Skyscraper.
Oh my god.
I mean, that guy's
PTSD.
nasty. Yeah, PTSD. That man's disgusting on Monty. But that might have been the greatest 180 I've ever seen. That was a turtle shell. And I don't think I've seen that happen in a while. I mean, that is physically not around we should be losing. Sit in a corner and call it a day here, but I mean, the reaction time was chef's kiss. But still, there is a chance because they are on defense and they don't have the operators. If they, again, I'm going to say it again, if they can mimic the bans when they switch on to the attack, I think it's very, very possible that we see a comeback because we were talking about how this matchup might be a little bit closer than people anticipate.
Yeah, also Border is like heavily attacker-sided. Even after all the defensive changes and operators that you see, this is really cool aggression on triple wall, but she only gets it down.
She gets that down, but she gets 2 players down very low as well here. Prone on the floor, you have such a risky angle, and it doesn't pay off here. Now, 2 downs, as you can't call out Mako or Balaka off the board yet because they have 2 reses and a second chance at life. The first person is going to come up, and that'll be Balaka now. You have to look for that Blackbeard. A spray from Lexi onto that breach is going to deal damage yet again. Blackbeard is still downed, and these attackers are losing their health points collectively as the seconds pass on. Jaeger Clutch has one of the most important positions of this round because she might be able to pick these guys off one by one as they walk in through her cross. With 2 impacts off as well, you can take care of anybody on this board except for Decimo. With the clock still running down here, it's just going to be a game of can we play this out here while Makos Goons look for that execute. It's going to be Lexi to try to find that kill.
It's going to be really hard to even like get themselves back into the game now that they've opened up the Canadian or the radio wall. But Jaeger's done really well to drop the diffuser.
This is beautiful. Jaeger Clutch finds 1 and 2. Beautiful way to anticipate how you're going to walk through that breach. Blackbeard gets there next. She'll find him! Lexi just playing ring around the rosy as she continues to distract these opponents, and Jaeger Clutch is parked out with the case in her hands. Balaka on the long angle, that ACOG unmistakably will take your head off at that range, and Jaeger's going to learn that the hard way. C4 goes loose with the wallbang, is going to connect first, and almost a legacy round to be able to bring it back and close out that deficit just doesn't land. And Makos Goons do get that 5-1 split indeed.
It's almost really close from Jaeger to like
really close.
I'm kind of shocked that she was able to drop the diffuser that quick. And it wasn't just that, like the fact that she was able to like triple down too. You got 3K in that round before dropping.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah. It's 5-1 half. I think you predicted that too.
I did. Like it's not even caster's curse, it's caster's prediction at this point. I'm like a what do they call those? Psychics? No.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I'm one of those. Sorry, continue.
Oh. No, I was gonna say kind of like the same. I have nothing past that round. I'm gonna be totally honest because I think my brain got fried once I saw Jaeger get like a really nice 3K and they still lost the round because I think ultimately she just got like pinched between triple wall.
Yeah, that health was
and armory.
Gonna be easy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be really difficult to stay alive, too.
I thought she was going to fall to the Blackbeard because she didn't use the impact. He was low, but with the way that man was running with that velocity, I thought he was going to hit him with a freight train dash, but no. A very close round,
he's really thick, too, so like I'm surprised that he went down like that easily, but the Vector does shoot really fast.
Yeah. I mean, it's like no matter how close some of the rounds have been, look at the scoreboard. I mean, I really wanted it to be much closer in the earlier stages because, again, Balaka's 13 and 3. Been finding roaming kills, has been clearing everybody out, winning his ones with the occasional 3 deaths across 6 rounds. You need to be able to shut these types of players out because once you let them create their own snowball effect, they become unstoppable here. But, again, I'm optimistic, and as long as it's not a 6-0, a comeback is achievable because usually the team that is up by 4 rounds starts to throw things out the window here. But with a very, very aggressive style of roster choices here, I'm interested to see what BBG are going to do.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Okay, they're defending like armory lockers, and this is the same thing that BBG did on their setup. They've double reinforced off armory. They have no footholds on the CC wall, so like there can't be. Maybe they're making it now. I think they are. No, they're not. So they don't really have a crossfire between a CC player. Between a CC player and an armory player, which is really, really powerful on this map. But I don't think that matters to BBG.
Wow, yeah, Hyojin just sticks his face out that double and just to get a good amount of HP shredded off of Jaeger. But with this East take, the most important thing here is health. Now, not having Goyo on the board is going to contribute to the overall integrity of the play here. But 2 players going down Jagarku for Mako is definitely going to be crucial to either side here. Now, Decimo looking to send loose his Toxic Babes. The C4 goes loose as well, but still, Lexi sticking it. It's going to be a successful plant, and we find ourselves with a 9-man count. Sierra finds her second. It looks like DMRs are her favorite thing. Jaeger Clutch doubles down on the lead, a 4v2, as this clock runs down here, and Makos Goons are going to have to try to salvage whatever they have left here. Jaeger has a 2-way talent shield, meaning anybody who gets close to her is going to have to deal with the full pressure. She's smarter than that. She hears the run out. Decimo now confined to the corner in Archives, and Monty gets it. Lexi's first kill of the game ends out the round, and 5-2 is the score.
That's crazy, cause like I think the smoke grenade, it looked like it was right on top of the Monty.
It did,
but I think it was too high. I think that's what it was. I think it was like really high.
I mean, you had C4s, you had smokes, and I
the
thought
C4 also I think was also like maybe way too far to the left because it did like little damage to Lexi.
Yeah, it did literally. I think they put it on the far left of AC.
Like, to be fair, I can't, like, fault Makos for the reaction that they had to that execute, because if you see, like, an Archives execute, you immediately rotate whoever has the Nitroso, whoever has the smoke, to site, or even have impacts, depending on if it's a talent shield as well, like, that's initiating the plant. And you just try and deny the plant, you try and, like, deny that win condition. And they just could not do it, despite like having the right people in the right spot. Like utility just missed. That's it.
I am intrigued to see how this is going to play out in the long run, because if this aggressive level of play is going to be kept up by BBG, again, I am very optimistic for a comeback. But did you see how Makos reacted to that? They saw a bunch of utility flying their way and a cross being held, and they didn't sit back and relax. They kind of just threw whatever they had at it, and that kind of led to their utility being burnt out fast, and then eventually their bodies off one by one. And I feel like if we see this fish in a barrel effect and the consistent bodies being thrown effect, then maybe a comeback is imminent. Balak goes down first, one of the most important operators for Makos because of the regenerative ability that her Kibas have. Let's see if they can continue to salvage whatever they can from this round.
I just wonder where Balaka died, because if he was the Easters player,
no, he ran out.
Oh, he ran out?
Yeah, he ran out. Exactly what Dustreak's doing right now. Jagarku gets 2 kills on the same exact angle. A third run out? What is this? Yojin for the 4th run out from 3 players. What is happening? You know what? That's a first for me.
I can't explain this. I'm kind of like, I'm kind of like flabbergasted that you told me that the Azami ran out in the first place, because that's who you want holding Easters. So like, what is going on? It seems like Makos Goons, like, they lose that opening pick, so they're just trying to get aggressive wherever BBG try to point their attack.
Quite an interesting approach this site. Decimo sending that Toxic Babe loose. It's actually going to down Lexi. Finished off. Jaeger Clutch with 90 seconds left on the clock. An AK in hand. Can you find 3 separate kills to put your team closer to closing that deficit out? Decimo says no. And that is going to be match point in the favor of Makos Goons and denying us of that close game we so very wanted.
I think they all just died on the books walk, so that's kind of that's
Dude,
really tough. And it happened like right after they killed like the most crucial operator for Easters. So maybe they could have gone for an Easters take. They all just decided to go books. Wall was wide open and nobody's watching the run out. Nobody's expecting the CC window jump out. It's just a lot of things that Makos doing that is very unexpected, and it's just catching BBG off guard. You know, that's kind of like the trauma border too, because like I said earlier, the one thing that you want to do on border on the defense is be aggressive and contest the map control. however you see fit. And Makos Goons, they did that, but they did that +1 because they just kept jumping out, and I'm surprised that they that they kept doing it.
That genuinely might be the most interesting round I have seen in my history of casting this game. I've seen some interesting things, but a quad, no, quintuple, quintuple? Was that a quint run out?
10 seconds left.
It's like 1, 2, 3 players. Like
I'm talking about the amount. Azami ran out. Yojin ran out
Azami
twice.
ran
That's
out.
3. Mako ran out. And
Decimo
Decimo ran out. That's 5.
Attackers must
yeah,
locate
that's yeah.
5 runouts in 20 seconds. What? I mean, 2 to 6. Not what I was expecting at all, Chalk. I really was hoping that it remained closer. But what can you do? That's kind of the thing that sucks about BO1s. You're not given a second chance to prove yourself if that first map is just not that map that clicks with you and your team. But I hope we see more out of both of these teams in the playoffs.
Yeah. And I kind of feel bad for BBG because they had to start off on defense and they had to play against Makos who were abusing shields and abusing cheese too. They tried to do it in that last round and it didn't work. So, or it did work. It did work. That one round where they did like last game.
Oh God. Yojin getting first blood onto Broshi, good. Jigarku just going nuclear, just sends it, honestly. Doesn't even care at this point. 8 for 8, 1 kill, 1 death has been his tradition so far on this game because he has been getting clustered when it's come to bodies on this site. Decimo looking to isolate the ones will win. Lexi taken care of. Now we have Decimo looking to continue to keep these players at bay from East. Sierra goes down and it'll be Destrick to run out here. The bodies drop like flies here for BBG, but the refrags from Makos keep them in the game. A 2-all man count. 90 seconds left, and these defenders are just going to have to park the bus here and relax until the timer runs out.
Still have a ton of vert that you can make using the buck too, so you can obviously make some vert just above bathroom and workshop. So you still have a chance in this round. It's not totally all doom and gloom. The only thing I'm concerned about is like this nitro cell in the last 2 smokes. Oh my God.
Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. A 1v2, Chaka. Please, please, please take us to that next mile. Now, 2 to 6 can be a little bit hard to look at during this game. But Mako is going to make things harder by flanking because there's no Nomad, no Gridlock on the board, and you're about to be punished because it's a 2-man drop. Oh, Chaka, it's actually going to happen. The plant going down by Jigarku. He's not going to be protected. I mean, the comm and the audio is heard from those footsteps above, so thank God they're able to repurpose this plant, but for some reason, they are going to get very aggressive on this hatch. Now, Jigarku goes for the second time, tries to put that plant down. Now in Tellers, with 30 seconds left, Mako's going to have to execute the ones. Hip fire from the top ropes! Takes care of Jaeger, clutch! Jigarku in a 1v1 confined to a corner, can only use that fully automatic because that range, you can't rely on the shotgun! Oh Mako!
God.
Come on! You can't just do that! From the top ropes to isolating the ones! A 2-7 win. The defuse kit counter defuse, and you can say congratulations to Makos right now.
And that 1v2 clutch just kind of tells the whole story for the whole entire game. Makos Goons, so sorry, were on top for the whole entirety of it. I mean, from their attacking half where they got a 5-1 lead to their defenses where maybe BBG could have gotten more rounds because again, border can be really attacker sided, but it wasn't meant to be, and I feel really bad because like I don't really think there was like any obvious things that went wrong for BBG. I think Makos Goons played border the way you're supposed to play it on attack and defense, which was like really aggressive, high octane siege.
I was really hoping to see a longer game because yesterday we went 7-7 OT between Pack Runners and BBB, and now we have BBG versus Makos Goons, and it's the complete opposite. A 50-minute game, and that is including the pre-show time. So I'm very sad that we can't say that we have another map or we have another matchup, but still, it's really about who gets the preferred side on a BO1, and it was Makos Goons to get that side, and on top of that, they had absolute units like Balaka to be able to frag out when needed. And I mean, I don't know, the over-aggression when they built that large margin also established something that just couldn't be touched. A quadruple run out followed by another run out to end out the round, unheard of, and it actually worked out in their favor. So, I mean, what can we say except for GG's? Chaka, if you don't have any closing thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Chaka. I've been Sino. That's been Chaka. It's been a long night. I apologize. On the OBS side, it's been Rennie. Please give me a W in chat for her. Without her, we wouldn't be able to watch this game in the amazing fashion, and she's always here to help us. Now, with that being said, thank you to our sponsors over at HMC, GameSir, and our affiliates over at Blacklight for helping us make this possible. We should be back as soon as possible. Make sure to drop a follow. Thank you all very much, and we will see you guys as soon as possible. Peace.